Welcome back to Finding Monster Right. Show about finding monsters, right?
Right.
We have embraced the winter and filled our pitcher full of ice. That's the best I could come up with for this summertime beverage special. But sometimes the touch of death is as cold as a pitcher of ice.
Well, we don't... Look, we just finished recording the Halloween episodes. I insisted we recorded them in October. So
yeah, right.
So now we're back to the 3 months in advance that we normally do. How'd the election go? Oh God, I can't think about that this early.
No, so let's talk about a little bit of let's enter a brighter note.
Yeah.
Necr-Oh, yeah.
Raising Dead with the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, well, so the Kool-Aid Man is maybe not what some people might say your classic monster.
But I would.
He's been around for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. He's been around since 1954 as the Pitcher Man.
Yeah, almost 70 years of sentient Kool-Aid.
Wow. And his original slogan for Kool-Aid was, "A 5-cent package makes 2 quarts." Wow. I mean, damn, Don Draper, is that what you were doing this whole time?
The description of him is pretty incredible. For those who aren't familiar, the character, the Kool-Aid Man, has appeared on television and print advertising as a fun-loving, gigantic, and anthropomorphic tropical punch Kool-Aid in a glass pitcher marked with a smiley face.
Oh, I don't know about that exactly, because he is the pitcher.
Yes.
This was a thing that was, this was like a bit of a Twitter, or like one of those internet things, like the dress and whatever. I guess there are still people out there that are ignorant of the fact that we have real problems now, but...
Yeah, it's funny how those things pop up in a world without like, fire raining from the heavens.
And sometimes there is, and there's still, but yeah, it was like a thing where, is Kool-Aid Man the Kool-Aid or is he the pitcher? Y'all, one time, I remember in like 2003 or something, the Kool-Aid Man was skateboarding and all his Kool-Aid fell out and he was just the pitcher. And everyone's like, oh no, hang on, I got an idea. And they filled his body with the new Kool-Aid powder, and they called the fire people to put water in him. And he was just like, oh yeah. And then he started skateboarding again. And it was like new Kool-Aid that is different tasting. A 5-cent package makes 2 quarts.
So the pit, yeah, and he's previously called the Pitcher Man. So I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here.
The Pitcher Man sounds like the protagonist of a 2010s horror movie.
Right. Or some kind of,
not protagonist, antagonist.
Some kind of Silver Age superhero. The Kool-Aid Man has a full name, if you can you believe it?
It's Oscar. No?
Not quite, but that's not the first time. That's not the last time we'll hear from them.
Oh, God.
His full name is Frankie de Kool-Aid.
Now, like I said, we just recorded the Halloween episodes.
So you've got Frankenstein on the mind.
This raises some terrifying questions, especially because in the original commercial, the Pitcher Man is just a pitcher with a smiley face, and now he is a 7-foot-tall, anthropomorphic, skateboarding weirdo. I don't think he skateboards anymore.
Not after his accidents.
No. Well, also, just in general, I don't think that's marketable to kids. I think skateboarding as a cool thing for kids has come and gone.
He's also adopted clothing as the years have gone on. Which is good, but also worrisome.
I mean, Frankenstein's monster grabbed some clothes right out the gate.
Yeah. He knows what's wrong.
Yeah. He already ate that apple.
Yeah, so his alias is also known as Pitcher Man, but
wait, when did they come out with apple flavored Kool-Aid? Like, maybe that's when he put clothes on. He realized he was naked.
Oh man, that wasn't other flavor worldwide or previously available.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same Wikipedia articles.
So yeah, the other thing that I think is worth mentioning is that in Canada, he's referred to as Captain Kool-Aid.
I noted that also. And
so, did you draw the same conclusion from that as I have?
Absolutely, I have.
Yes, he is an officer in the Canadian military.
Mm-hmm. A captain in the Canadian Navy is a NATO code OF5, which is kind of middle ranking in terms of the enlisted, or not the enlisted, the officer type people, but in the Army, it's much less. And the Air Force, it is only in OF2, which is the same as a lieutenant in the Navy. So, which branch of the Canadian Armed Forces? You know,
I cannot tell you. I do think he's in the F5 though, because a 5-cent package makes 2 quarts.
Oh, okay, so he's in the Navy then, because the other ones are only OF2.
There you go.
Can I go off about the military really quick?
Hang on a second.
Not in the way you think.
Well, really quick. We're about to unravel some conspiracy stuff regarding the Kool-Aid Man. But first, I want to say a 5-cent package makes 2 quarts. 5 cent 2 quarts. 5 is equal to 2. So, the answer to the question, which captain is he? The answer is yes.
Okay, that's terrifying already.
But go off about the military, please.
I was just gonna say, all you need is Army, Navy, Air Force. Like, what's this Marine Corps? What's this Coast Guard? No. You only need the 3. You only need the 3 of them. They can that's all the places you can go. Land, sea, air. We haven't come up with a 4th one of those yet.
I have to say that I imagine that the Kool-Aid Man's a member of the Coast Guard. Just because that he, like, it's literally what he does when kids are parched, like on the beach or in the like near water. He shows up to turn that water into fun.
That's more of a land guard, really. Well, no, people get thirsty on the ocean. That's a big deal.
Oh yeah, sure. I wonder if that's a. So I watched several Kool-Aid Man advertisements before here. I did not see one of like people on floating on a raft and the Kool-Aid Man coming to save them.
Yeah, well, I mean, did you check out the Canadian ads?
I have not.
Watching a French-Canadian Kool-Aid commercial would just be... It'd be like one of those things where you realize, man, if I didn't know who the Kool-Aid Man was already, I would be like, those French-Canadians.
Yeah. One other note I have here about his in-universe information is that he's the species that he is a pitcher.
Oh yeah, on the Wikipedia thing it says in-universe information, species, pitcher. Like, why? Why are you like this?
That's. I'm not the science person. Yeah, you're. Oh, but is that a species?
I'm gonna say no. That's a type. Hang on. Let me just. I'm gonna grab my Latin
Encyclopedia Britannica or the scientific equivalent.
I'm grabbing my Latin dictionary. I'm gonna contact the whatever governing body governs the usage of inanimate objects that is kind of animate names.
I like how we have access to resources and we use them to talk about the Kool-Aid Man.
We really do.
Like this show sometimes feels like, hey, you know, we have the entire knowledge of the humankind at our fingertips, and we use it for evil.
Okay, well, actually, go ahead. I'm going to also come up with a species name, because I have the Latin word for pitcher, but I'm also going to look up the word for Kool-Aid in Latin.
Well, I think you're going to have a difficult time with that, because Kool-Aid is not spelt the way that you think it is.
That's your hot take, really?
No, I'm just... the name itself baffles me in some ways, because it implies that, hey, you know what? If you're hot outside, you can get some of this drink to cool you off and aid you. But it's not spelled like Gatorade or lemonade. It's literally AID aid.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Like it's some sort of like he's some sort of cleric or some sort of medical man who shows up with a cure for your ailments.
Well, as we know from memes, a necromancer is just a late healer, and this brings us to the reason why we initiated this particular episode.
Yep. In February of 2020, otherwise known as 5 years ago, the during the Super Bowl ad campaign there was the death and resurrection of a Mr. Peanut.
Correct. Yes, he jumped off a cliff to save Blade and Matt Walsh.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes and Matt Walsh.
He should have been Blade in that. That would have been amazing.
Put a pin in that right next to your pin in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Ouch.
Taking the pin out of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. His funeral is attended by the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
I believe that's called a Prince Albert. Continue.
As well as Mr. Clean, who I ran into enough stuff for an episode about him.
Oh boy, is what the show is going to be about now?
Every now and then I want to remind people that there's monsters all around them.
Wow, that was the coolest shit you've ever said. But, alright, continue.
So he, at his funeral, as Wesley Snipes is giving the eulogy, he, a single teardrop from the Kool-Aid Man, lands in the soil and resurrects Mr. Peanut as the horror known as Baby Nut.
Everyone was like, oh my gosh, Baby Nut, like Baby Groot and Baby Yoda, and then I feel like that was the death knell for the win the people over with the baby.
No, I think that was the, that was the, what we call it, death toll. Because that's what they said in the marketing room. They're like, hey, we're spending $1 billion on new Super Bowl ads. What's our plan? And then they ran it through the numbers and they're like, yo, Baby Yoda is the hottest shit in the world right now. So we gotta make a baby. And they did it, and then everyone hated them for it.
I found the scientific name for the Kool-Aid Man.
Okay.
Ursius frigida auxilium. That literally means Kool-Aid pitcher, to the best of my ability. I kind of rushed it. I could probably finagle that, but you know what? No, doesn't matter. They named a fungus like SpongeBobium squarepantsii. Like, as long as I say it, and it's peer-reviewed, it counts. Now, Adam, do you review that?
I'm in the editing function of Wikipedia right now.
Okay, you know what? That's peer review. Sure. Let's engage in some light vandalism. Okay, so Ursius is Urces, frigid, like the word frigid, and then Auxilium. That's close enough to how Latin works.
Yeah.
Oh, also, italicize the whole thing, capitalize the first letter of the genus name, don't capitalize the species.
Genus name, not the species. Got it.
So, like, Homo sapiens, capital H, lowercase s.
Got it.
Italicize the whole, yeah. All right,
so if you check your source, we're up to... We're up to... Oh, shit, I did alias, not species.
And you also did Ursus, not Ursius.
Well, it's going to be changed in a moment anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Time. I'm 16:35 into my recording right now. Let's see how long it takes for them to fix this.
You know what? So yeah, let's... At the end of the story, the Kool-Aid Man has the power to bring people back to life.
Yes.
And when they return, they're worse than they are before. We call that necromancy in the business of monsters.
That does sound like the case. As a certified necromancer, I have to say that's correct.
I believe so. I think this tycoon of industry has the ability to deliver not just corporations but creatures themselves back to life.
And maybe he does it. Well, like, what is refreshing children that are dehydrated from play with Kool-Aid? What is that if not like a low-level necromancy?
I would agree. There's as I said before, I definitely see a lot of kind of cleric energy from him too. He's aiding, he's healing, and that's one venue for necromancy. Surely, we need a segment right now.
Well, I have a little bit of a segment, or not really a segment so much as a some truth.
Okay.
Okay, so I looked up on Wikipedia. Now, hear me out. I'm I'm telling you, it goes all the way to the top. All right, so are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? Are you paying attention? Because I don't have a lot of time.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing all those things.
All right. Kool-Aid is owned by the Kraft Heinz Company.
Yes.
Now, the Kraft Heinz Company also owns a brand called the Golden Circle. That reminds me of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Now, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is an occultist offshoot of the Freemasons that uses the symbol of the Rose Cross, which was originally used by the Rosicrucians in their original incarnation as the Invisible College of Mystic Sages in the 14th century. The Rosicrucians have a monolith outside of the Cave of Kelpius, a site of a Philadelphia-based 17th century doomsday cult claiming that Johann Kelpius himself was a Rosicrucian. Now, legend has it, and bear with me, this is where it gets weird, that on his deathbed, Johann Kelpius instructed one of his disciples to throw a box containing a sacred relic believed to be the Philosopher's Stone into the Schuylkill River. Now, bear with me, keep bearing. Are you bearing? If magic exists.
I am Sasha Baron.
If you're Sasha Baron Cohening with me, if magic exists, it is a fifth fundamental, don't want any inaccuracies. Magic exists as a fifth fundamental force of the universe, and then it stands to reason that it would travel in opposition to another fundamental force of the universe, gravity, that is, upstream. Now, the Schuylkill River, into which this box was thrown, feeds Philadelphia's surrounding farmlands, thus filling the crops with magic. Most crops are grown as feed for livestock. The most commonly bred livestock is cattle. Hold on, I need to drink all this saliva I've been producing without stopping. Oh man, if only I had some flavor powder. The most common use of cattle is to make milk. The most common use for milk is to make cream. The most common application of cream is cream cheese. Philadelphia cream cheese is owned by the Kraft Heinz Company. Kool-Aid is a conspiracy to sell Philadelphia cream cheese. All the way to the top.
My Kool-Aid Man Mason connection was a little more about how he breaks through walls, and therefore he understands their structure.
Okay.
and their true weak spots. And the only person that can keep that kind of information is a Freemason.
He is made of glass, or perhaps like some kind of sentient crystal diamond thing.
I would honestly say that sentient crystal diamond makes more sense.
How? In what way could it possibly make more sense than glass?
Because glass doesn't, talk to you and run around.
Neither do diamonds. Except, if I'm hallucinating. But glass doesn't if you're hallucinating. I don't know what that joke was about.
Yeah, I guess I imagine him as not being forged, as being born. Crystal's more of a grown thing.
I guess. It's more likely to be alive if it's natural. Like a giant talking pitcher.
So now that we've alienated all of our audience, both conspiracists and non, I think we should get into a little bit of monster rehab.
Monster rehab. We are sorting the Kool-Aid Man into
society.
Yes.
Yes. He clearly he does not agree with the foundation that our people have built this world upon. That he smashes through their the walls. Why was he trying to come up with a better word for walls? He smashes through their masonry and so forth.
I mean, we say this about every monster we've done could work in demolitions.
Yes, it does make sense in a way, because using his powers for good. Projects that need to be torn down. That said, I think he'd make a good lifeguard, too.
Okay.
He's functionally the same exact thing in the situation that we described. If someone was dehydrated, I'm sure a lifeguard would come by to help them out.
That's true. That is what a lifeguard does, is guarding lives.
In that vein of guarding lives, what about a fireman?
Oh, yeah. Wait.
So you mentioned, well, you mentioned it earlier that firemen once helped him regain himself.
Firefighters. It's 2003, Adam. Come on.
Oh, apologies. A firefighter like the Kool-Aid Man would be able to not only get into easily go into a burning building without fault, without trouble, and he would be able to hydrate people that are all smoked up.
That's true, and I feel like it would be... I don't know why I feel this, but I feel like if I were in a smoke-filled building, if I kept my, nose close to, a glass of water or Kool-Aid, somehow that air seems cleaner to me than the smoke-filled air, and I'm not sure what that is.
Could it be like a condensation factor?
Yeah, like the water is pushing the smoke out, and, you can breathe some, trace amounts of water into your lungs easier than trace amounts of smoke, or big amounts of smoke.
Yeah, I don't know the exact science behind this, but it's like if you are in a burning building, I would put a wet towel over my face.
Yes. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Jesus, that makes so much more sense than whatever the fuck I was going on about.
About how the glass air is cooler.
I am not a doctor. All right, well, yeah, firefighter is a great way to... You know what? The current incarnation of the Kool-Aid Man, according to Wikipedia...
Oh, we should talk about him.
In 2013, Kraft decided to overhaul the Kool-Aid Man, reimagining him as a CGI character, a celebrity trying to show that he's just an ordinary guy. Which... Okay.
Have you learned about his stats?
I have not learned about his stats.
The Kool-Aid Man, according to this source...
Oh, wait, no, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's a CNET source on him that talks about how he is 6 foot tall, 3.6 inches thick.
Well then.
607.6 gallons.
I think it's time for the Squatchalurette. No, please don't make me. That was a joke. It was a joke.
And 11,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
I don't know if you knew this, but liquid's heavy.
Liquid is very heavy. I am acutely aware of this. But I guess that explains the wall thing, huh?
Yep. He kind of breaks through that stuff, doesn't he? Oh, yeah, actually, you are correct. He's a living wrecking ball in a way.
Yeah. In more ways than one. What does that mean? I don't know. Now, I have a confession to make, Adam.
Okay.
It is not Squatchalurette related, don't worry.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck, your joke was going to be better, I can tell. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, as I lie on this couch, I'm curious if the Kool-Aid Man would be a better therapy animal, or needs therapy.
Okay, that's a good question. He definitely has brain damage. I think he might need physical therapy. Wait, yeah, he doesn't have a brain. I think that doesn't make sense. Never mind.
Yeah, he doesn't have any problem physically.
You can see all through him. I know he doesn't have a brain.
He doesn't have any cracks or anything like that. He's not leaking.
No, he has just a mouth and eyes, which work independently of everything else, which I guess is because he's magic somehow. And
he's got great balance. Because he's not, otherwise he'd be tipping over and spilling everywhere most of the time.
Well, he did spill that one time on that skateboard.
That's why I said most of the time. I cover my ground.
Okay, you don't miss.
So, needs therapy. Does he have, he doesn't have any problems. He's always smiling. Well, I should say, that is not an indication that he does not need therapy.
Yeah.
I think he lives a healthy lifestyle, I guess is what I'm getting at.
He does help the children a lot. That seems mentally healthy.
I feel like that kind of goes into the therapy animal direction.
Well, he's more. He doesn't. You couldn't go to the Kool-Aid Man with problems.
No, only one problem, and that's it. And that's that you need a drink.
It'd be like, hey, Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Um,
Oh yeah.
listen, I'm having a hard time staying committed to my partner, and I'm not sure what to do.
Oh no.
Purple Saurus Rex! I don't think that's a solution to my problem, Kool-Aid Man. I think that's a kind of Kool-Aid. Man, oh, mango berry. No,
Have you tried some Sharkleberry Finn?
man, we need to... Wait, what? Sharkoberry Finn?
Looks like you got the shaking starfruit.
I am... Oh, there's Sharkleberry Finn. Okay. Can we talk about the ridiculousness of these flavors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
First, I have to end that scene with "Man, oh, mangoberry."
I already said that one.
Oh,
I'm still co-host the joke stealer.
you can give me a sunshine punch then.
No. What? Oh, that's also a flavor? Why did I think it was any...
If I say anything in the next 5 minutes, that is not.
I don't know why I didn't think that. I'm like, what the fuck is a sunshine punch?
There's no rules about what can and cannot be in a Kool-Aid title, because you have everything from the range of golden nectar to the great blue Dini.
And let's not forget Grosella.
What the?
Wait, hold on.
Kicking kiwi lime.
I think if you say all of these names backwards, you can cast, he's hidden all of the components of his spell book for all his dark necromancy magics with a K into, like, these flavors, and if you say them backwards, you die.
Like, if I was designing, I don't know why this came to mind, if I was designing the Kool-Aid Man as a Smash Brothers character,
like if I were to
these would be the names of all his moves.
Oh, absolutely. Now, if I were to say tangerine backwards, and I were to say Enoregnat. Man, I hate it when that happens. Yeah, no, I would die. Don't do that. Future reference.
All right, you have 5 seconds to come up to find the spookiest Kool-Aid flavor.
It's Grosella.
It's Eerie Orange, unfortunately. You were close.
I don't know. Eerie Orange isn't, well...
Would you drink an Eerie Orange?
I would not, no. They have cola flavor?
Would you drink an orange Enerjuice?
I would not, no, I would not. Enerjuice is so much worse than Eerie Orange, though.
Enerjuice, what? Spelled ENERJOOZ.
I mean... That doesn't...
that's his range blast attack.
They're trying to make, like, a portmanteau of energy and juice, and yet they made it sound like the word Jews, which, I mean, in terms of conspiracy theories, oh boy. Hey, remember when conspiracy theories were, like, fun, goofy, like, oh, what about aliens, instead of, like, Jewish...
There's a dragon on the moon!
Yeah, dragon on the moon conspiracy theories is my go-to brand of conspiracy theory. Not, like, let's find the richest Jewish person in the world and just say that that's that's
the devil.
That's George Soros.
Yeah, right.
I have a conspiracy theory that George Soros is the richest Jewish person in the world, and therefore that is why they've decided that he's a bad person. I could look this up, but that would be antithetical to the spirit of conspiracy theories.
So
the thesis statement is that conspiracy theorists are anti-Semites.
Oh, one last pass here of conspiracy theory Kool-Aid flavors. Vermelhaus. Vermelhaus.
Everything's coming up for Millhouse. That's just a reference. That's not a meme. Yeah. Millhouse is not a meme.
Scary Blackberry.
A lot of Halloween ones.
I suppose.
Like you hand out little packets of Kool-Aid for.
This is making sense. I imagine these are arranged alphabetically, but a lot of them are like Halloweeny tastes.
Yeah.
But okay, we've had enough of that.
Adam, I've got a confession to make.
Okay. Here, let me get close to my therapy animal here, the Kool-Aid Man.
All right.
What is it?
I've never had Kool-Aid.
I don't think that's true.
I've never ever drank. I've never consumed Kool-Aid, and I also don't remember the past participle or the present participle for drink ever. I can never do that.
Have you never took a 5-cent package to make 2 quarts?
One time, I had Tang, and I didn't like it. And I've had Capri Suns before, albeit infrequently, but I've never consumed Kool-Aid.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, I remember you grew up in like a powdered drink household, but it was usually like lemonade, right?
Yeah, no, Country Time lemonade, all day, every day.
Yeah. I hope the Kool-Aid Man is not as regional as I might think.
He has a it's sold worldwide.
Yeah, that's good, because he's a bit of a local boy.
How so? Well, he's got how so?
Kraft Heinz, the same owner of the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kraft, it's a Pennsylvania kind of network.
Right, because of the Cave of Kelpius.
Yeah, correct. As well as the Heinz itself. And Planters, the other connection there to Mr. Peanut, is from Wilkes-Barre. So, yeah, it's which begs the question: who do you think would win in a fight, the Kool-Aid Man or the Philly Fanatic?
Oh my god, we lose.
They fight, we lose.
Whoever wins, we lose. Absolutely.
They have the same body shape. So it's like, I think they're the same weight class.
No,
well, not exactly.
They're the same volume class. But they are not the same weight class at all. No. Okay, well, the Philly Fanatic's a warlock.
As we established.
We know this, to quote Dr. We know this.
And the Kool-Aid Man's a cleric. A necromantic cleric.
Well, okay, so is he a grave cleric? Is he a death cleric? Well, the act of necromancy we've seen him perform is at a grave. So
it's a resurrection, is what it is.
Well, it's a reincarnation.
Yeah, right. A full reincarnation.
It's a reincarnation spell modified so that he is a baby that grows to a 21-year-old in a year, which that isn't. So in the Mr. Peanut universe, like, there's different, like, the drinking age varies by race. So, like, if you're a human, you have to wait 21 years, but if you're a peanut, like, 1 year is...
Look, there's a lot of universes that I will happily delve into for this podcast. I don't want to understand why Planters misfired as hard as they did in that commercial.
Yeah, honestly, everybody was just like... I really do love that this was universally rejected as just like, I don't feel like being manipulated right now, Planters Peanuts.
Yeah, right. That's when things start to go bad in our country.
Right then is when, like
coasts on fire bad. But mass spread of virus bad. Have we got into, we'll get back to the Philly Fanatic in a moment here, but first,
I don't want to.
Unpinning Blade. Blade is kind of the antithesis of immortality, vampires, undead beings, correct?
That is true. And the Kool-Aid Man, in performing this necromantic ritual...
Specifically, Wesley Snipes' reaction to him doing so.
Oh.
If you recall, he angrily tears up the eulogy in this commercial, which leads me to think that Blade ain't happy.
Oh no, Blade knows what's going on.
Yeah, but Blade's seen this stuff before. He's immediately upset with the Kool-Aid Man, and I think he's going to be his greatest adversary. Now, first for the folks at home, let's talk about the Philly Fanatic.
Right, the Philly Fanatic is the mascot of the Philadelphia Phillies. He is a big green bird Muppet-like creature with a tube for a mouth. You
can listen to our 3rd episode to learn more.
Yeah. That's our first good episode.
You can listen to our first good episode to learn more.
Yeah.
So, going toe-to-toe with the Kool-Aid Man. I think the Kool-Aid Man, he's got a good physical component to him, for sure. And I do not know if the Philly Fanatic can escape far enough to launch some ranged attacks at him.
I don't think ranged attacks are going to matter, because if you shoot hot dogs at him, like, he can break through a wall.
Yeah, it's just going to bounce off his glass body.
But if you shoot the hot dogs into the Kool-Aid, the buns will absorb the Kool-Aid.
And you can win the hot dog eating contest.
He would win the hot dog eating contest in the process, but he would also die. So worth it?
Yeah, I think he's got some exploitable weaknesses. If the Philly Fanatic points that gun on his legs and takes him out, then he is like down for the count.
He will not. No. The legs are as resistant as the rest of the body. You got to think of it like Superman, except the top of the head.
I'm thinking more like the skateboard incident that you so frequently reference.
Oh, okay.
If he loses his balance, then it's game over.
That felt like shade, but okay.
Well, you brought up so many times.
It's the only one I can remember, because the only thing I can remember from the period of time between 2004 and 2013 is the Danny Phantom theme song in its entirety. Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 13 when it's... Nope, I already fucked it up. Never mind.
You forget. You're not supposed... Yeah, I thought you were supposed to not forget that era.
Well, now it's nothing. Now I don't remember anything.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Philip Fanatic, if he gets a good shot, and he can take him out. But it'd be a fair fight. I'd love to see that. I'd pay per view that fight.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to take the Kool-Aid Man into the final rating place.
Yeah, let's put him to rest.
Mm-hmm.
As a friend to children, I think the Kool-Aid Man is victorious in many ways. I think there's enough creepiness about him that he's kind of resonated through pop culture, and he is definitely a monster in a certain way. So I think I'm going to give him like a 7 out of 10.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the thing about how he's a friend to children, because we have previously taken points away from monsters for not being that. So I guess it's only fair.
Huh. Well, I to be fair, I did not feel that myself, and I agree. I would give him a 5 out of 10, a glass half full.
I will give him a +2 bonus for being a friend to children, because historically it's -2 for not. So that's 2 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Here's the thing. He can garner no favor with me, because I have not tasted his flavor in me.
You have not drank the Kool-Aid.
I've not drank the Kool-Aid because I am a pure Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna say virgin. That's weird. I hate that. I hate that so much. We didn't do Squatchlorette for a reason, and it's that that's an uncomfortable prospect. What was I talking about? Yeah, 2 out of 10, because all I know is that he is a friend to kids.
Yeah, so we'll see you later, Kool-Aid Man. Hopefully not. I can't think of another occasion when we talk about him, ever.
Oh, well, maybe in the Mr. Clean episode.
Oh, never mind.
That we are now obligated to do in episode 47?
Yeah, okay, 47's fine.
No, wait. The latest one we've called is 46. So, let's just...
Yeah, we're just gonna call the 40s. I'm calling that next.
Alright, fine. 47.
47.
Now we have to add one more to the column for ideas.
So, tune in next time.
Not next time, but tune in 21 more times.
Yeah, tune in 21 more times to hear about Mr. Clean. Tune in next time to hear about a much older monster from the time before words were written.
Ooh, prehistoric monster. Technically, yeah. Wow. Hey, Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.